fans, good evening and welcome to Racers Elite Network as it's the dawn of a brand new season here from the great house that Penske built. Green flag just in the air. I apologize for the technical delay. Medalists from live at the start. We've got those gremlins taken care of. So tonight in prime time, get fired up, ready to rock and roll as we send it down trackside as Kinsley Smith. The Napa man usually applies some different colors tonight. The Dream Machine currently leads over Matt Slosser, Brandon Honeycutt, Diego Rodriguez, and Truth Hope as we now work lap 6 of the scheduled 80 right here from Brooklyn. And I want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight, supporting the cause. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, all new beginnings here this evening, which means the confidence, the excitement these drivers have it turned up to 1,000 as they firmly believe that they have a shot to win the championship. And it all starts tonight in week 1 and how you carry on the course of the season from tonight all the way through the championship. You're going to have to be on, just like Kinsley Smith is right now as he continues to get a mirror full of Matt Schlosser in that 400 machine, who's up one position from the very start. Smith, your pole sitter, also tonight. Last time by, right at 49.08. See, so, big time problems there. Truth Hope just got yeeted. Did he save it? Oh my God, what a save by the Wrangler man. He had that car pointed at every which way but Sunday. Somehow he was able to steer that ship back up on the racetrack. Bit of a Code Brown moment there is probably going to need a new race suit when he comes down pit for the first time, but other than that, no harm, no foul. It's going to cost him a couple of positions now as Truth Hope is in a hemorrhage all the way back down to 7. He is not happy. He is driving a little ticked off right now. He paints a bead on the back of that Camry just in front of him, that 39 ride, and that is Josh Freed, I believe, a newcomer to the series. He's already made some big gains here in the early going, up 8 positions from where he started. This group of cars here, we've got Zach Lockett, Cole Leroy in the 42, Dawson there as well. That rounds out the top 10. We'll send this back up to the front, though, as this battle is hot and heavy. With Kinsley Smith, Matt Schlosser. Tell you what, that 20, Diego Rodriguez, he almost found the spot where the Waffle House dumped the bacon grease coming off the corner there. It is slick. The back end of this car just wants to check out. And again, he had to deploy the save here as he runs that 5th place position right in front of the HMFIC, Andrew Tept in the 98 machine. That happened, as I was saying, Kinsley Smith, a seasoned veteran in iRacing and also longtime member in Racers Elite, going up against Matt Schlosser, a career journeyman in iRacing. You can find him competing in a lot of the top echelon leagues. A driver that is holding this ice out there. He's working the crap out of Kinsley Smith right now. And 2 veterans, 2 drivers, 2 stars are putting on a great battle right now here. Carry the torch. 2 Chevrolets lead the way, in fact. They're a 1-2. Then you have a Toyota. There's 2 Chevrolets and a Toyota. Round out your top 3. Then you have Tept in the 4. There he goes. Racers Elite colors also. McDonald's on board. Let's hope his pit stops tonight are faster than their driving. Some great racing going on here at the point. Again, for some of you guys tuning over and joining me, you may know me from the other leagues I broadcast. I am a little bit under the weather. My voice is fractions of what it should be, so appreciate your patience and bearing with me through this broadcast tonight. It's Truth Hope again. It's wicked. He turns into Twisted Sister. That freaked out timing and scoring so much, he just disappeared off the map. And I'm talking about on my end. I'll tell you what, that car is just wicked loose right now. I mean, it is a red-headed stepchild out there ever since he heated those tires up. Like, you know, those tires, when you heat cycle them, it affects the way that they interact with the asphalt track surface out there, and he is loose right now. He is fighting a good fight side by side. John Force special here. The turns 3 and 4 complex. He's going to send it downstairs. So he goes up against Wilson here. This is just inside the top 10. So he's going after P9 right now. Truth has had his hands full here in the early going, as it's Kensley Smith, Matt Schlosser, and Brandon Honeycutt. Trying to check out on the competition, but don't look now. The head cook, chief, and bottle washer, Andrew Tebb. He's got some mojo underneath the hood of that race car. The longer we go under green flag conditions, the quicker that 98 ride seems to get. In fact, he is the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Last time by at 39.54 to your leader's 39.53. Send it down trackside. Let's jump on board with Tebb. Oak Valley, Rhode Island, Racers Elite President. As I was just saying moments ago, he's got the best tickets for this battle as Kensley Smith is going to get dethroned by the shake and bake. He's probably sitting there scratching his head wondering what just happened, because his restrictor plate buddy just pushed Matt Schlosser by him. F says, hey, if you can do it, I can do it too, as he's going to now challenge for that position. All this happening as we jump on board Andrew Teft here. It is literally okay to three-way at the point. Around the series at all, you know that Mr. Honey Bunches of Oats and Kensley Smith. I mean, those guys are forced to be reckoned with out there on the restrictor plate tracks or any series amongst Racers Elite. If you guys are new, I mean, Racers Elite really has all things iRacing covered. They have multiple leagues. They run races virtually almost 7 days a week. They have iRacing. They got multi-class racing. Want it, they got it. If you're interested, get in touch with Andrew Chap, get in the Discord. You can be right out here in the competition, mixing it up with these guys each and every time they suit up in prime time. Frederick Matt Schlosser in the 400. Now leads for the first time this evening. Officially right now, 18 laps into the history books of the opening campaign here. The great house that Penske built. That Toyota has caught in that Camaro sandwich. Brandon Honeycutt, one of those drivers, Elizabethtown, Tennessee, and he is smooth like the whiskey that comes out of that state, especially the longer we stay under green flag conditions on that racetrack. Not only is Brandon fast on the short run, he just has this unique ability to be able to just go faster than anyone else can on a set of tires, and he always finds his way to the front. Sometimes he'll go so far off strategy, you know, the other drivers, just because he's so darn good at it. And he is always there at the end. His 400 ducked out of line there. Trying to throw the block there on the 13th because he had a big time head of steam. Draft really important here. Really maximize your speed on the straightaways by having a dance partner, a battle buddy. Well, these drivers can utilize them quick setup here tonight. I can tell you, you start to get some wear on these tires. You can use the downshift to your advantage. However, it does have other repercussions. Prematurely wear those rear tires out, especially if you're messing with the pedal. However, if you're tight, it can help you loosen up the car. Some drivers may use it, some may not. I'll tell you what, Matt Schlosser is hungry for that lead. Runs about a half a lane up off of the 13th. It's a 4-car breakaway here at the front. Honeycutt, Schlosser, Tinsley, Smith. Andrew Tepp working. Playing it safe right now. Just watching these three mix it up here. Then you got to go back almost 2.3 seconds. How is Truth Hope back in fit? I'll tell you what, this man out of Hickory, North Carolina, he is something else. If there's anyone that, tagline, I got this. I mean, it is that man right there. I mean, don't forget, he's already almost had this car wadded up ready for the scrapyard twice already this race. And here he is. Those abused tires and all. Up here in the 5th place position in the 55 ride. That is incredible work by Truth Hope. Diego Rodriguez up 4 positions from where he started out of Michigan as well. So this problem, home track for him, one that's important to him. He wants to get the job done here, as drivers often do in real life on their local tracks or tracks that they consider town tracks. So watch for that 20 to be really competitive here this evening, as he's got Leroy, the 42 machine in the Mustang, bearing down on him as well. Zach Lockett starting to learn. This field's starting to get a little stretched out. We have these little pools of cars. That's very common here with this race car. Under long blue flag conditions here, side by side. Excuse me. Oh, that is Wade Scott. He's got some Colonel's no longer on board that machine. He's got Racers Elite graphics on that ride. Landers Cowboy Troy Thomas out of Houghton, North Carolina. I'll tell you what, folks, there's an area of the country that is really, in this past year's hurricane season, so much historic flooding. The landscape just completely washed away, erased, shaped. And those people still get on so they can get. Glad that Troy is all right. He's got his internet back up and he's trying to get back to the norm. As he sits in that 11th place position. Back a few off the start of this race, and again, that could be by design. People, drivers, I should say, like to attack this racetrack a little bit different. Depending on what they're seeing out there on the racetrack. Remember, folks, you can't win it on lap 1. You have to survive and be alive. That checkered flag falls. Not about 2 on lap 1. Back up to the point. Brandon Honeycutt leads in that TRD powered machine, like the marketing slogan says, let's go places, and he is taking it all the way to the front of the field in that Camry. And if you guys are new, join the cause, smash the like button, ring the bell. Miss any of the high-flying, high-octane racing action here on Racers Network. Ring that bell. Make sure you get notified each and every time one of their series is live in prime time. And again, folks, I mean it, almost every single night. You can find racing action right here on Racers Elite Network. Also help us support the cause and grow this channel. A new initiative to help directly support the racing that's going on currently here in the league. If you can be so kind to help that initiative support that cause, we would certainly appreciate it. We're now 29 laps into the scheduled 80, and here from the house at Penske Built. Race fans, welcome back to the house that Penske built. As it's Brandon Honeycutt putting on a clinic here in the early going. As the master of going faster, his smoke is stretched it out over a second out of his shake and bake buddy Kinsley Smith, who holds down that second place position. Welcome back to, I almost said Red Line Racing Network. However, tonight it's all about new initiatives, a new era, and a new mission here in Racers Elite. And we're now on Racers Elite Network. Thank all you guys for joining us here for the ride this evening. I'll tell you what, Matt Schlosser and that 400 machine and Kinsley Smith just cannot seem to get away from each other. They're like magnets out there tonight. When you talk about being up close and personal, when you swapping around. Doesn't matter if Schlosser's leading, over Kinsley Smith or vice versa. I mean, these guys stay very close proximity to each other. And of course, just as I say that, Schlosser backs off about a half a car length or so as they send it there into the corner. Man, who's loving that battle right there? Brandon Honeycutt. He just enjoy the benefit of all that clean air in front of that race car. He's out there also turning. Second fastest lap of the race. The only ones that are faster just so happen to be running the same lap times. Those two cars in draft behind him. And that is that 415 machine. However, Honeycutt is so good through the corners right now. The distance that Kinsley and Schlosser make up on that Toyota, he gains it back each time he sends it into the corner. And again, this race right now playing into his hand. As, like I said, he's one of the long run guys. I mean, this guy knows how to make those Goodyear Eagles last. Those Dr. Feel-Goods, they don't go to feel-bads. It's quick for him. As it seems other competition, and I've been out there with him on the racetrack a few times, and I don't know how this man does it. He found something that works for him in this next-gen car. And I wouldn't share that secret with anyone else either. Go ahead and take a look at tonight's weather. Typically like to go at the top of the broadcast, but because we had a couple of gremlins, we had to sort out. We'll go ahead and do that now. We're kind of at the lull in action here at the front of this thing. Officially clocking in at 14:59 military time, 2:59 p.m. Wind's going to be a factor here tonight as they are howling at 13 miles an hour. Could be gusting north of 15 to 16. That will certainly affect the handling out of these cars as they come out of the turns. 1 and 2 complex. Ambient air temperature beautiful for this time of the year, especially up north. 71 degrees ambient air temperature, 57% water drain. Cloudy skies, however, and that's going to be limiting how much heating we get down there on the asphalt. Just about 10 degrees under the century mark at 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So these cars will be making all the grip here over the course of this race this evening as we quickly approach the halfway point. And in fact, as we hit the line this time by, we're officially going to be working lap 40. Most of these drivers came down pit road while we were away, paying some bills, taking care of our partners. Brandon Honeycutt on lap 30, Kinsley Smith lap 27. Schlosser, run out your top three, those are your money positions right now, came on lap 30 as well. That seems to be the similar story actually through everyone in the field. How about we talk about the OG, the Berg, Alan Bergen, part of the Toyota family in that 00 machine. You know what? Got to thank Alan for everything that he has done. Racers Elite, SRM for what they have done and what they continue to do. But that man there, he puts in more time on the iRacing side of things. All the background ops that you guys don't necessarily see on the broadcast. I mean, it doesn't matter what time you message Alan as he currently runs in that 21st place position. He is going to give you everything that he got. Oh, and look at Brandon Honeycutt. He's just going to thread the needle there. He's going to send it. Talk about, please let's not have some connection issues. It's the last thing we need. But as I was saying, got to thank Alan for everything that he has done as he brings it down pit road. Don't want to have any mistakes here under green flag conditions. Looks like he's going to pull it off of the racetrack and perhaps deciding to bail out of competition. So I'm glad I got to say that. I want to thank Alan again for everything that he has done. The Racers elite. We send it now back to the point. Again, Brandon Honeycutt continues to put on, or I should say put up a blistering pace here in that 13 machine. In fact, he's even starting to pull away from Schlosser a little bit. He's about 7/10 of a second behind him, and then you have that 15. Often it's wrapped in those Napa colors, the Napa know-how man. Tonight, he's the Dream Machine. Again, another paint scheme made famous by Michael Waltrip. Carolina. Two Chevrolets inside of the top three, but the Toyota leads Andrew Tepp. First Ford in line. Been a pretty uneventful race for Tepp, and sometimes that's a good thing. Just how just how you like it. Get out there as a driver, be able to get into your rhythm. Right now, it's just about there going out there, logging laps, tripping some of this off of the board, and get down to go time. It's time to compete and battle. First win of the season, and he's got a mirror full of Truth Hope. That first run, that first set of tires he had, well, those things got overheated big time. I mean, they were hot. Those tires were hot and bothered. You could tell how the handling of that race car was affected as he almost cleaned himself out. Not once, but twice. Got some fresh shoes on it now. He has drove that thing now back inside the top five. Runs in P4, the highest he's been so far this evening. He is eating on the bottom. He is sending into that corner Bon Jovi style, living on a prayer. Should be close enough to Tepp now where he should be able to use the benefit of the draft here down these long straightaways. Historically, this racetrack famous for its high speeds. It's 2 miles in length. A lot of Ford presence in the area, so typically this is a race that Blue Oval guys have circled on the calendar. How many great battles have we seen over the years from drivers like Greg Biffle, Mark Martin? Company, Roush was really a powerhouse here. They were a stronghold for a long time. Back in the R07 engine days, the Gen 4 era. Lots changed since then, but still, those sport teams like to come here and they like to show out, they like to win. Right now, all eyes on the Ford driver, Andrew Tepp. Got that dark horse Mustang. Furthest forward in the field right now as he's just outside the top three at fourth place position. Back there on 15th place, you'll find Richard Ode. Throwing it back to the Furniture Road days with Martin Truex Jr. What a run they went on in that Gen 6 car. That paint scheme from that time being featured on his machine this evening as he's clearly throwing it back, shouting out Martin Truex Jr. And this for that 15th place position. And he's kind of in a no man's land right now, running all by himself. And the furthest competition is light years ahead of him right now. That's going to be Dennis Kane, who's 15.16 seconds up the road from him. On a racetrack, that's some distance from Florida to California. That's gone. And behind him, a similar story, Ryan Coker, New York-comer here to the series. It's at 16th place position. He started in the year. He's up 7 spots, so having a great run thus far. Keeping that car lean, mean, and clean. As he continues to try to run down Richard Ode in the 78 machine. Hugh Escobar. Great looking paint scheme on that Chevrolet tonight. And he's kind of running the top shelf of the racetrack where Mama likes to hide the cookies. And this getting further towards the back of the field. I believe is right now 20 cars remain out there on the racetrack out of the initial 23 that took the green flag. The 00 of Alan Bergen, the 69 of Jesse Fox. Curtis Ecker as well, all exiting this race. They're going to put themselves in a little bit of a hole on the point side of things. Fortunately, Michigan had plans and taking a DNF here to open up a brand new season here. The next gen side of things is it's, you guessed it, folks, Matt Schlosser now takes his turn to lead the top of the scoring pylon as Brandon Honeycutt goes back to run him down. Let's send it on board with 13 as he stalks Matt Schlosser. And be very methodical with that throttle through the curve. You're sending it in there. You gotta be very smooth with articulation on that throttle pedal, that back end, and step out to launch. That engine, you can watch the RPMs fall off there. About 70 to 300 there. And puts the hammer back down. You see last time by, you're at 49.89. That's putting up a lap. Especially for as long as Honeycutt's been out there, remember. Him and Matt Schlosser last down on lap 30. We are just 26 laps away. First checkered flag of the season. Brandon thought about it. In fact, he's going to go for it. We're going to widen things back out here as it's side by side, and it turns 3 and 4. Less than a half a car length, another. They almost bump. They almost touch. Honeycutt has to grab the wheel and send it back down the racetrack. Schlosser is going to have all the momentum dialed up on the high side, but Honeycutt, he is going to give it the biscuits. Send it in there like grandma's been after church on Sunday. What a move by Brandon Honeycutt. I mean, 8 times out of 10, the car in the high side lane with this many laps in the tires, that's going to be the lane that prevails here. But again, Honeycutt, the wild card. He knows he's going to burn up his tires really quick, so he's going to jump back up in line. That's the other thing you got to be aware of, too. You keep trying to cut down underneath and roll the bottom of this racetrack. This is progressive banking here. It's really easy to cook that right front. And once you do that, forget about it. This car is going to turn to a snowplow up on, Interstate 90, the northeast. It's not going to turn. It's the Bandit, or the Brandon Truth. Excuse me. truth is in third place. It's the Matt and Brandon Show. Third time's the charm. Here as they continue. And two fastest cars on the racetrack. You know, you may be scratching your head going, hey, wait a minute, what happened to Kinsley Smith? Now finds himself currently being scored in that 12th place position. Why? Just pitted on lap 52. So he is trying to play the undercut here. Understands, hey, Brandon Honeycutt Schlosser a little faster than me, so hey, you can't do the same thing they're doing. They're going to go Las Vegas mode here. High stakes, they're going to roll the dice and put new shoes on that 15 quicker and try to make good use of those fresher tires. Let's see if Honeycutt and Schlosser respond. Fuel not going to be a problem here. I believe Matt Schlosser just took it down pit road. Here he comes. Oh, he's bringing a ton of speed. Did Schlosser just get banked speeding on pit road on the money stop, potentially? Certainly looked like he did. Or at least from my perspective. We'll find out here when he completes a stop. Great entry down into his pit stall. Team goes to work. Going to be 4 Goodyear Eagles, 2 Kansas Sunoco Racing Fuel, and he'll be down and away. And he was awful hot coming down pit road. I mean, he was bringing it. Seen him lock up the tires, trying to get it mowed down. Having a great run here this evening. Brandon Honeycutt gonna make his way down pit road as well. So Schlosser goes ahead and draws in Brandon Honeycutt as he locks it down into his box. Why is Schlosser got a speeding penalty? He's incredible. Just a rare mistake by Matt Schlosser, something you typically don't see him do. And he is down and away virtually at the same time that Brandon Honeycutt was, who came in a lap later. These drivers now come back up to speed. Guess who? Kinsley Smith. Gonna undercut the competition and slice his way to P1. Obviously, he didn't know that Schlosser were going to get a speeding penalty there. He played this one brilliantly. Now, under 20 laps to go, 19 left. Honeycutt has about just over a second back to Kinsley Smith. Brandon's going to have to turn and burn. And oh my God, is he. He just ran he's about to run his fastest lap of the race. Let's go ahead and throw up his on-road telemetry. That's going to appear in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So he has full afterburner engaged as he tries to run down Kinsley Smith. Speeds approaching 198 miles an hour in a car that has half as less horsepower than the Gen 4. Rumbles down the backstretch again, 194 miles an hour. That lap time is going to be his best at a 38.94 compared to Kinsley Smith's 39.39. Brandon Honeycutt is there, and he is on the back of Kinsley Smith. part of the slate to me there, ladies and gentlemen. Again, trying to keep my voice in check here. Make some more elixir to try to get this thing again. As I was saying, Brandon Honeycutt has ran down his dance partner on the super speedways, and they are side-by-side drag racing. Who does that Camaro go with on the backside? He can't make up his mind. Schlosser jumps back in behind. It looked like he was going to try to push. However, he decided not to. Remember, Schlosser, he scored in that 13th place position. As that dark voodoo cloud of bad luck appeared over his race car on the money stop, and he just, the tires said, not today. He received a massive speeding penalty. It's going to be nearly impossible here to overcome here for Schlosser. He's going to need a miracle and a couple cautions. He has just been snake bitten this week. You know, the Truck Series, I believe he had a good run going, if I remember correctly. Daytona things happened here tonight. Up in the front contending. Literally had winning speed in that race car. When it all goes wrong on a green flag pit stop. And that's the other thing with these leagues that, historically have a lot of long green flag runs. You have to get it done in the trenches. You have to be perfect on pit road. You don't have the luxury to come down under yellow flag conditions. Your time delta is just so important. How you attack it. How much speed you can carry before you can get slowed down enough to hit that commitment cone, that scoring line there, and not get caught speeding. Getting back up to speed, that all matters a tremendous amount under these green flag conditions. For Schlosser, it's going to be the one blemish in almost a perfect evening. He'll be thinking about this one for a while. This Tep now has that dark horse back to third. Truth Hogan, Zach Lockett round out top five. Freaking paint scheme on Zach's car. Oh, the 94 just had a massive case of the blinkies. You want a way to give a sim racer a heart attack? Go ahead and do that. Just blink out in front of him and you're going almost 2 miles an hour. That driver knows there's a chance when he reappears, he's going to be sharing the same cockpit with you. And one of you guys just might go space shuttle status out on the race trip. Ooh. And there he goes. The 94 hits the flux capacitor. When does he reappear? There he is, Marty. 1.21 gigawatts later. In fact, he's going to ghost pass the GOAT machine. That's not supposed to happen like that. The 93, like I said, Zach has no idea where that race car is. So he's tiptoeing, being very cautious because of that. That Mustang able to get the spot away from Zach Lockett. Probably matter than a keep your health. I got the motor to fudge backer about that. I can't blame him. That connection seems to have stabilized as it's getting hot and heavy. Just behind him is Kirby Wainscott has his hand pulled. Oh man, this is a gang of cars right here. 3 wide, coming through the 3 and 4 complexes. We're under 10 laps to go. Get skinny, boys. The 42 almost took it there from both sides. As the 20 machine giving a big time push. That It's the other Tev, the Alex version. As he is now side-by-side drag racing. This is just wild. Multiple cars scrambling all over the place. Sometimes inches off each other, throwing all kinds of dirty air. So throwing haymakers, you name it. Give and take is going out the window. As a race car driver, you turn that switch on, you see red. You're not lifting before you see God or a checkered flag. I mean, at 20, just about high-fived him in the business end of that race car there. He about putted him going in the corner. Diego holding on to a top 10 here. Got Troy Thomas, the Landers Cowboy there just behind him. See, that 78 just kind of threw it down there. And this is the hottest battle on the racetrack right here. Brandon Honeycutt still has a tremendous lead. Kinsley Smith, who's in second. Andrew Teff's in third. However, we're going to keep it where the action is right now. As this is trench warfare, World War II style action going on here on the racetrack. Hot and heavy. Tell you what, Grandma's fired up sitting next to me. She's got her life alert in one hand, kernel-free popcorn in the other. If we're going to have a caution, this is potentially the hot spot of where we can get it. And a lot of other places on the racetrack is almost strung out right now. This group of cars right here, this is the hot spot. This is the Hornet's Nest. Almost went up there and cheese grated the fence. Carried so much momentum. He almost got into the back of Teff, and here comes the 78 taking it down into the flatlands, all the way off the banking. He's all the way to the basement. Draft assist here. Into 3 and 4. And Matt Schlosser. The heartache continues for him this opening week. He finds himself in 13th place. This is a very rare self-inflicted gunshot wound under green flag conditions coming down on the money pit stop. Just a rare mistake, a rare miscue by Matt in that 400 machine. Now send it back up to the point. Brandon Honeycutt in that Toyota-powered XSE Camry continues to put on a clinic here in Ford Country. The other thing I'd like to point out is he also has the freshest shoes out there on the racetrack. Pitted last on lap 60. Oh, it's Andrew Teff now. Oh, let's go back here for a minute. Just as it was falling apart here, suddenly we have a three-way battle here for that second place position. Kinsley Smith turns up the dial in that Aaron's Dream Machine. He charges into turns 1 and 2. The 98's going to back up the corner. The 55 ride trying to figure out which lane he wants. He's going to stay in tow as the 98 pushes the 15 down the backstretch here. Teff's going to take a look here to the inside. He's going to keep his foot in it. Kind of puts a little bit of a squeeze job, just a little bit, on Kinsley Smith, who comes down. trying to side draft Andrew Teft, and that's going to allow Truth Hope to poke his nose in there as we go back into 1 and 2 for the final time here from Michigan. Little razzle dazzle on the high side of the racetrack. Kinsley Smith does the wiggle. The 98 almost gets loose. Truth Hope is going to get a run. He's going to go down to the bottom. He's now going to send it into the corner on a full-blown Hail Mary. He's going to bump Kinsley Smith and Dorncheck him out of the way. This all happening as Brandon Honeycutt wins here in Michigan as he puts on a dominating performance in the season opener of Racers Elite. Andrew Teft going to come home with a bridesmaid runner-up finish, and Kinsley Smith going to come home third with a wild fight to the end between those two cars. And how about Truth Hope coming home in that fourth place position? 94, Chris Pendle going to come home fifth. Let's see if we can quickly go VHS mode here and roll this back. Don't want to take away from what Brandon Honeycutt did. I mean, he is the winner, but you guys got to see this finish between two great drivers here. It's a three-way battle at the line as thousandths of a second separate second, third, and fourth. I cannot make this up. Take it back there. Let's go quarter speed. Watch this, folks. It looks like a finish at Talladega. That's what it's all about right there, ladies and gentlemen, is Brandon Honeycutt. Signed, sealed, delivers the first win of the season. What a drive, what a performance from Brandon Honeycutt here tonight. As he puts this field on alert. As he now gets ready to burn the house down. Your winning moment here on Racers Elite Network. As he snags the first checkered flag on the season. We get ready to roll into post-race coverage. Going to hear from our top three finishing drivers. Give them a chance to celebrate with their teams, grab a beverage. We're going to get ready to talk to them up here in the Tony Trapassa Memorial broadcast booth. Then I want to thank everyone for joining us here for the season opener on Racers Elite Network. If you could support the cause, smash the like button, ring the bell. That way you'll also get notified each and every time they are live battling out on the racetrack. You won't miss any of all the fly and high-octane racing action right here on Racers Elite Network. Check back in here to see if these drivers are ready to join me up here in the broadcast booth. Give them just another moment. You know, once the season kicks off, I mean, we're going to keep on rolling, keep on trucking, ladies and gentlemen. Some leagues, they take a week off here and there, not these guys. We're going to keep on rolling. Each and every Thursday night, you can count on it for all that door-to-door, side-by-side competition you expect from the Racers Elite Series. Andrew Teft is ready. See if we can get Andrew Teft on the radio here. I do apologize. Looks like my permissions are not working properly. I cannot move these drivers, so let's just go ahead and do this. As Andrew Teft now joins me up in the broadcast booth. Andrew, what a run from you tonight in the 98 machine. Walk me through your race this evening.
Yeah, I'm just riding around for a good chunk, following the sleep free, and yeah, I mean, second pit stop, first pit stop, off off three, kind of staggered back, bridge had some extra tires there, so kind of had to short pit in order to catch back up to those on the track, but tire disappointed. Uh, so, so yeah, the last few laps there was Kenzie Schuster's last. That was battle for the win. That was enough.
Well, you guys had a great battle, just outside of the win. Obviously, a podium between yourself, Smith, and Truth Hoke. And in fact, we went back and watched the replay there. I mean, thousands of a second, separating you guys there at the line. Looked like something you would see at Daytona and Talladega. And to your point about the tire deficit, you're right. Honeycutt actually had the freshest tires on the racetrack, and I thought the undercut was the right play. When yourself and Kinsley Smith went ahead and rolled the dice there. I thought that was going to be the winning move. I really did. But, to your point, I mean, Brandon just put on a great drive this evening. But your Mustang really seemed to come to life there about, what you got about 7 or 8 laps on those tires. It really seemed to come to life. You really woke up and you were able to run those guys down at the front. Obviously, you come up just a little bit short. What do you think the difference was? What did you need more to perhaps go up there and challenge Honeycutt for the win at the end? We may have lost Andrew Teft here. We're going to try to get him again. Andrew, Matt up in the booth. You got a copy? We seem to have lost his audio feed, and I do apologize for that. Back in the booth again. Still cannot hear him, so let's go ahead and continue with the interviews here again in our post-race segment. We now look for your first place and second place drivers. That's Brandon Honeycutt, Kinsley Smith. Try to see if we can go ahead and just jump in. Kinsley Smith, Matt up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy there, Hotshot. Kinsley, Matt up in the booth. You hear me now?
You hear me?
Kinsley, there we go. I got you loud and clear. Sorry about that. I do apologize. But
No
as
problem.
as I was saying, man, now that you can actually, or I can hear you, I should say, man, you had a hot rod tonight to open up the season here from the house that Penske built. Not the Napa colors we're used to seeing, but you had that Aaron's Dream Machine all ripping out there. Walk me through your race tonight. What did you need to go up there and, challenge your shake and bake buddy, Brendan Honeycutt, there for the win?
Pretty much needed to not screw up pit road. Pit stop. So just straight through my box, my tires, going into the box, and I slid my tire. Right. So I lost at least like 4 seconds.
Yeah, that was and unfortunate. It wasn't just you that had some miscues. Matt Schlosser had a similar incident there where he got caught with a horrific speeding penalty there on the money stop as well. I know you tried to come down pit road and undercut there too, but that extra 4 seconds, it's a lot of time to make up there on the racetrack. I mean, talk to me about the conditions out there. I mean, how did the car feel? Was it neutral? Did it transition to the looser tight side? How was the car handling overall this evening for you?
The It would start off pretty good, but then it would feel grippy, and then about halfway through the run, your tires start going and you start slipping and sliding a little bit, so you got to be a little extra careful. But I mean, other than that, like it was super fast out there, even though it was a little slippery, and I like a looser car, so this type of track and temperature really fits me pretty good.
Yeah, certainly. You showcase that out there on the racetrack this evening. I got to ask you, that finish tonight looked like something you would see at Daytona or Talladega. A 3-wide battle there for that second place position. Obviously, Tef got second. You come home P3. What was it like coming there 3 wide to the line of the final lap?
It was pretty nerve wracking. I was looking out the corner of my eye and looking at Andrew's nose because I could barely see it over Truth's hood. So I was sitting there looking. I was like, God, he's getting the run. Truth got loose underneath me and kind of pushed me up a little bit. Which I mean, that's just a racing deal. Nothing bad on Truth. Truth did a great job in that situation. Because I pretty much only gave him that very bottom lane, and that very bottom lane is super slick with this progressive banking. But I was just looking out the corner of my eye and looking at Andrew's nose, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to get him. So I just had to pretty much just hold off Truth at that point.
Yeah, well said, man. And I appreciate everything you do out there on the racetrack and for Racers Elite. Obviously, you got some momentum on your side. And before I cut you loose, man, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 15th?
Of course, Brandon Honeycutt, just us racing together and stuff and bouncing ideas off of each other, and all my other teammates at Driving Extreme Inc. And of course, Andrew for putting on the league for us, and of course you, Matt, for always doing a great job in the booth for us, and then my daughter, my #1 fan, loves to sit here and watch me race while I'm doing it, and she'll be sitting here. Are you winning, Dada? Are you winning, Dada? So it gives me a little extra boost to do a little bit better.
Absolutely, and you'll remember those moments for the rest of your life as Kinsley Smith opens up his season with a podium finish. He looks to carry that momentum throughout the rest of the weeks and right into the championship. Thanks for joining me up here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial booth. We'll send you back down trackside, or in this case, I'll go ahead and I'll leave your VC as I got to get my permissions fixed for next week so I can drag and drop.
All right, thanks, man.
Appreciate your time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, Kinsley Smith, who comes home in that 3rd place position. Let's now go ahead and take a look here at the final finishing results here this evening. As it was a wild one, lean, mean, and green race here from Brooklyn to open it up on the high speed, high fly, and high racing action side of things. Right here on Racers Elite Network, of course. Let's go ahead and throw those final results up on the screen for you guys this evening. What is the production? Someone seems to have shut the lights out here in the broadcast booth. We're trying here, folks. I tell you, we're trying. Race number 1 on a new initiative. Things always seem to have a couple bugs here and there. Now that we got that sorted, see if we can go ahead and take a look at these final results here from race 1. See if they will go ahead and cooperate. There we go. Again, from race 1 here tonight. Brandon Honeycutt from Driving Extreme Incorporated. Going to get the win here. Andrew Tapp from Chicken Coop Racing comes home second. Kinsley Smith rounds out your top 3. Truth Hoke having a great run there in that 55 ride comes home 4th. Well, Chris Pendle rounds out your top 5. Zach Lockett, Josh Reed, Diego Rodriguez, Alex Tepp, and Leroy in the 42 machine round out your top 10. Troy Thomas in the 3 machine comes home 11th, while Dennis Cade comes home 12th. Matt Schlosser, who was so strong early in the 400, comes home on the outside looking in that 13th place position. The Colonel, Kirby Wainscott, in that 10 ride, he's going to roll across the start-finish line in that 14th place position, while Ryan Coker rounds out your top 15. Dawson, Hayden Malcolm, and Hugh Escobar round out the 18 drivers that took the initial green flag here this evening. We go ahead. As we get ready to move on to the second week here in all things Racers Elite. And unfortunately, folks, it has come to that point in time when all good things must come to an end, including this broadcast. I want to thank all the partner sponsors, drivers, everyone behind the scenes that make this great league possible. Without your support, this would not be. Do this each and every week. And again, Thursday nights, your night right here for all the next-gen action. And as the late, great Tony Trapasso used to say, as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a favor, don't play in traffic. And we'll see you next time right here on Racers Elite Network.